Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anne-Marie and this is Tarot with Anne-Marie, and tonight we are going through another major card for you. Tonight it's the Chariot. So anybody who is a Cancerian, you are linked to the Chariot major arcana card. So happy holidays to everybody. I hope everybody is well and thanks for joining us. Please do feel free to write your comments or ask questions. As you know, sometimes I bring on a guest. If you'd like to be a guest, you're welcome. Okay, just message me and let's see what we can do. Be handy to know what part of your tarot journey you're at, whether you're at the beginning or whether you've never even considered tarot, or whether you are somebody who's a professional. Happy holidays. Here comes our first comment. How are you, Sherry? Happy holidays. Are you well, my lovely? Are you well? How are the holidays for you? I can imagine. I know you've had a really tough time of it, Sherry. Happy holidays to you. Lovely. Thank you very, very much indeed. It's a strange old time, isn't it, when it's holidays, that's in. And as we grow up and get older, it's not quite the same as it used to be. So, anybody else want to say hi before we dive in and look at the Chariot? And please, if you're new, do say hello. You know, we won't bite. They're a shy bunch, I know, and very well behaved. But it really helps me when you actually just put your comments on. Oh, right, okay. So we have got clever so there. You're doing really well. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Good. I'm glad about that. Sorry, we've just got one of those silly comments coming up. Hi, Carla. Hi, how are you? I'm glad you're doing well, Sherry. I know it's been tough. I know. Okay. So, with no further ado, if we've got a moderator, can we get rid of that comment from Facebook? I don't know where they're coming in from, but it's very off-putting. You know, it's hard out here, and when you get smart Alex kind of putting things up thinking it's a joke, it's really distracting. So my apologies, I'm being distracted by that silly comment, just trying to make a pun with the planets. I'll let you guess. Anyway, so we're going to jump in to our major arcana card. So there you go. Hey presto. The Chariot. So, a number 7, and it is a major arcana card, and the Chariot shows a figure where a man is riding out of town, and we know that. Look behind, you can see the town behind him. So, okay, I've just been told it's not showing, as in, it's coming in on Facebook moderator, so not to worry. Always puts a silly comment up there, but not to worry. So, a man is riding out of town, because the town's behind him, and he's in a chariot, and he's standing very tall and very strong and very determined. Okay. We're just going to talk about, you know, the symbology of this card and the colours and things like that, and then we can kind of go over the meanings, but feel free to ask your questions. He's dressed in battle attire, as you can see, okay, and he's holding a wand in one of his hands, okay. On his shoulders, can you see there are 2 crescent moons, and also there's 2 masks. If you look really closely, you can see next to the wand, yeah, that crescent sort of shape that's there. And there are 2 blue faces, but you have to look really, really carefully. Remember, I did that ages ago and kind of went, oh yeah, I forgot all about that. Easy to do. Okay. There is a star-covered veil canopy, and above that chariot, as you can see, and the front of the chariot is decorated with blue wings. Can you see that? It's in just above the Sphinx's heads there. And below the wings is a symbol of Isis, and that is the ancient Egyptian goddess and the mother of magic and mothers. Okay, the two Sphinx are pulling the chariot forward, and one is white, and this is a reminder of one of our other cards, the High Priestess, you know, where we've got the two pillars. So it's a little bit like that. And the Sphinxes are representing the duality of opposing forces. So the chariot is also appearing, if you look carefully, to be resting on land. You can see the green grass there, and what looks like some water behind. So maybe it's partially on the water, we don't really know. It's not that easy to actually see. So for this guy to keep his chariot moving forwards, he's got to have control, hasn't he? Yeah? And he's got to have control of two opposing forces. So that's not easy. So one of the Sphinxes represents the heart and the other the head. So this card is all about your head and your heart. And so we've got a mix of emotions going on. It's practicality, feminine and masculine. And our figure is a man, and he's mature enough to know that he's not going to get anything done unless he knows how to control these two dual forces. So if we look, we can see he's been in battle before because he's dressed in a suit of armour or what looks like battle wear. So it suggests that, you know, he's a seasoned sort of warrior of some sort. But also, remember I said to you that the chariot is astrologically associated with the zodiac sign Cancer, which is my sign. Cancer is the crab, and the crab is tough exterior on the outside, the shell, and very soft on the inside. So got this tough sort of exterior going on. Sorry folks, I've been with the dogs and I'm pretty sure that I'm about to sneeze, so my apologies. He is associated with Cancer, and Cancerians are known for the fact that they can be putty and soft in your hands, but they can appear to be incredibly sort of capable. And so we don't know whether or not he is as formidable as he looks and as capable as he looks. You know, for all we know, especially with those two Sphinxes, he could be really emotional and wanting to run and leg it, you know, with fear. Know the feeling, know the feeling. By the way, any Cancerians watching? Yeah? Just say hi. Say hello if you're new. We won't bite, we won't quiz you or anything. Please ask questions. You know, don't feel that you've got to listen to me and me only. Hi Zoe, how are you doing? Hi. Zoe, how are you? Hope you had a great holiday and continuing to do so. It's not over yet, is it? So, absolutely wonderful. Okay. I would actually say, sorry Zoe, do let us know if you want to pop on, as in as a guest, come in, just have a chat, look at the card first and see whether it's overwhelming or not, or if you're free, you know. Zoe often comes in as a guest. She is brand new to tarot and definitely is learning bit by bit, and takes a lot of guts to come on camera, doesn't it? It really does. So bravo to Zoe when she does, but I know it's holidays and lots of things happening, and she's a young person. I'm sure she's got great social sort of life. So if you're not available and just saying hi, that's just fine. Okay. Right. So it also shows with our figure that he's probably dressed for battle, and that means he's probably going to put in the work because he's gone to the trouble of getting himself all tired out, you know. If he lets one of the sphinxes run free, and let's say it's the white one, he may end up with a lot of trouble. Okay, and that's because one of them is, I would say, it's a case of two opposing forces going on, and the white sphinx has free rein. He'll end up in trouble because it could be aggressive and lacking in compassion. Okay, and if he lets the other one, which is the black sphinx, kind of take control, well, you know, all that self-discipline's out the window, and it might just be a horrible old emotional mess. Okay. The Chariot is number 7, as I said, and you know, 7s in tarot is all about progress, making progress, being able to see that you've overcome the challenges, that you are getting there, you're not there yet, not to give up, but to keep going forwards. Okay, keep going, be, you know, in a place. It's cards of a number of victory. But, you know, the Chariot is one of those cards, as if any other card in the tarot deck, that is about willpower. So think when somebody speaks to you for a reading, or you're looking at it yourself and you're going, you know, will I be able to pull this off? Will I be in a position to make it happen, as it were? You know, one of those great questions is, will I keep going, you know, with my hobby? Will I actually achieve learning to drive? Perfect, you know, Chariot. And by the way, somebody asks you, you know, about driving, the Chariot is definitely the card to look for because it's on the road matters. So the Chariot is a card of very much being on the road, the dispatch of things that go on the ground. Also in a reading, when I'm reading, and I do want to talk to you about this as in maybe on shorts somewhere in the future, not while we're actually doing cards, but I mention it. You know, geographically, your tarot can tell you a lot. All right. So when we've got the Chariot card, we're talking about the home, we're talking about the domestic life, we're talking about the local area. Now, the local area is in, you know, my way of actually teaching is 40 to 50-minute drive away from where you live. So if somebody says, oh, you know, is this person that's coming in that's going to help me, going to be on the doorstep? It depends what you mean by the doorstep, doesn't it? But yeah, if the Chariot card's there, you're able to say, yes, it's within less than an hour's drive. If it's a case of, let's say it's temperance. Temperance is the one that's air travel. That can be domestic flights, but more often than not, it's international flights, okay? So there's all that going on. Okay, Zoe might be joining us. I'd love that, Zoe. Okay, that would be really, really nice. Okay, so yeah, it's a card of home, it's a card of Cancerian, it's a card of local things, it's about on the road. And if somebody's asking, you know, have I got the willpower to keep going with, say, you know, my hobby, Tai Chi, or my driving lessons, or whatever it is, then the answer with that is you're making progress, you're determined. If you put your mind to it, you'll do it. If you put your mind to it, because it's the will with the mind and the emotion combined that gets things done, and this person will persevere. So also, time to mention, if people are looking at wanting to diet or lose a few pounds, this is where you would look, okay, the Chariot. Why? willpower. Now let's say we've got the Chariot there, and I'll be doing examples of this on Tuesday. Don't forget Tuesday, folks. We'll be breaking this card down, how to read this card properly, using other cards, combining it, bringing in pairs, making sure that there is meanings and values and feelings, and, you know, as if it was a question. And the question that I'm currently working with every week is about career. We're not doing love and relationships. That's it. I wanted to make it so that we could really go diverse, and that's why I've chosen that question, okay? And your clients don't always just come to you with love and romance questions. I know it's very popular, but more often than not, they're coming to you with bigger matters. Those bigger matters, by the way, are what keeps them returning back to you. You know, once you've answered questions on love, you know, that's probably it. They're either boy meets girl and they're happy, or they have a few bumps in the road. You don't see them for dust. But if you're able to help them with their lives, with their businesses, with their careers, and that's what it's all about. You know, this is what I was saying. Decide what kind of reader you want to be. I keep banging on about this, but you really do need to, you know, do you just want to be someone that gives one card and that's it? You know, and says, oh, give me a donation, buy me a cup of coffee. You know, how many of those are you going to have to do? And you know what, that one question, they'll come back to you again and again and again, and you'll wish that you'd given them a proper reading. But, you know, when you're ready. Okay, so this man is controlling that chariot without any reins. Look at that. That is why it's the willpower card, okay? He has his abilities to keep the wheels of the chariot turning by willpower alone. There are no reins. He has control of two sphinxes. And if you look at those sphinxes, they've got the pharaoh's head on them, okay? And they are the body of what looks like a lion. And they've got breasts, women's breasts. So it's, yeah, it's a lot. It's about the strength. The symbology is about the strength and the courage of the lion, and the black and white, the yin and yang, the night and day, the duality, the masculine, the feminine. And of course, this card is linked to the astrological sign of Cancer. Therefore, Cancer is ruled by the moon. Okay, so there's a lot going on with this card. All right, it's about someone having determination, excellent power, and being able to complete, because their success depends upon being able to concentrate and navigate everything by sheer willpower. Okay, he knows that now he's started on his journey, and we know that because the 10's behind him. So he's not just about to start, he is moving. Okay, he can't turn back. And if we look at the chariot, it appears to be made out of concrete, you know, which is a bit odd. So that must be very uncomfortable, very limited, and it's not great, you know. On his head, he's got a wreath, and that is about victory. And he's got a crown there, which is also significant for the fact that he is excellent at what he does, and that he is in a place of being able to be respected. And this is some sort of, you know, symbol in his recognition of who he is, you know. The laurel again is around the head, that laurel wreath, victory. We see that a lot in the Chariot, okay? So he's really got to get on with it, and he's really got to face the challenges that are going on in life, okay? And, you know, because this card represents Cancerians, well, we're an emotional lot, okay? And we have to work very hard at being able to balance. And No different with this card. So that person will get there because they really do have all the tools on the table. A bit like the magician in some respects, as I say that to you, but they do because they are using all forces that they have got. But this time it's will and determination rather than just manifesting things because the mind and this and that and the other is all on the table. It's much, much more than that. Okay, so it's a very exciting card. You know, I did say that this guy does look as if he's in charge and doing everything right, but looks can be deceptive. Always remember that, you know, you might go, gosh, you know, that's all very well and good, and I'm really determined to do all of this. Really, I am. But when it comes down to it, you know, I'm nervous, I'm anxious, and I'm emotional. We had a full moon in Cancer, I think the night before last, Boxing Night, yeah? So it's still around us, and that full moon, of course, is about letting go of things that don't serve us well and letting go with thanks and appreciation. It's been a bit of a tough one, you know, and it's an opposite of Capricorn. We're in Capricorn times right now, but we have that full moon in Cancer. So we might all be feeling a little bit emotional, and when I say that, that can be tears and tantrums and whatever, okay? But just allow your emotions to actually come out. Don't bottle them in, but just keep a lid on those powerful emotions with other people. Maybe a bit of privacy, to have time for yourself, you know, is a good thing. So it's all related to the Chariot, okay, this card. Right, it works in conjunction with Cancer, as I said. And as I said, it's about matters of the home. It's also about sensitivity. And I said that because, you know, Cancer is its sign. It's important. It's a card of transportation, of dispatch. It's also a card of being very grounded. Okay, because remember, it's matters on the road. So that's, you know, attached to the terra, to the earth. So it's about being grounded. So that's important. It's also a card of new contracts, believe it or not. You know, if somebody says, oh gosh, you know, will I be signing a contract with, you know, this firm? This is where to look. By the way, bear with me for a second. I am going to have a sip of coffee. I have been a little under the weather this week. And it's a bit dry talking all the time. Okay, so Zoe, do you want to pop in? If you do, you know what to do. Just press the call thing. If you don't, I totally understand, my darling. It's up to you. Okay, so where was I? Card of new contracts. So somebody may be saying, I may get a contract as in with this firm. This is where you'd look, you know, looking for maybe the Ace of Wands. Oh, brilliant, Zoe. Zoe's going to come in, so that's brilliant. Excellent. When Zoe rings, I'll move to the next scene, okay? And we'll say hi to Zoe. So yeah, you know, it's a card of leadership, but it's also self-control, being guided in two different directions, of course. Contracts, as I've said. Commitment to goals. This is where, you know, if I'm dieting, you know, is it gonna work for me? Okay, right, Zoe's joining. Let's have a look. Okay. Mina, it's a lesson. Sorry, no messages. Okay. Right, bear with me, Zoe. I'm swapping scenes. Sorry about that, Mina. Okay. There she is, lovely girl. Hey, how are you? Oh, got you muted.
I'm fine, thanks. And you? You cut out. What did you say?
Oh, okay. How was your holidays?
It was long because we said both Swedish and English.
Oh, Do tell. What's the Swedish way? Well, I'm going to sit back and listen to this.
Uh, it's like every person in Sweden do different, but our family, we ate first, and it's like ham, meatballs, and that kind of food. And then
Yummy.
3
Sounds
o'clock
good.
people like on a duck.
And you say that again. Sorry, Zoe. So
And
you've got
like
that.
3 o'clock, people watch Donald Duck and Missy Pig and that kind of stuff.
Oh my word, that sounds absolutely yummy, but also incredibly, yeah? Is it good? Or is it quite
Yeah,
light?
and then
Are the
after that,
courses quite
Santa
light?
Claus comes.
Well, it's a bit like traditional sort of English food. The courses that, if you're having, shall we say, Christmas dinner,
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's an awful lot. People do soup or melon boats or, this or that or the other. As in, yeah, it
it's
definitely is an awful lot. Wow. Okay. Oh, and Goose is saying hi. 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 Hope you're well, Goose. Yeah. No worries. No worries. No worries. No worries. You can watch the recording anytime. Yeah, sorry, Mina, we're not actually doing readings. Sorry, darling, it's about tuition. So I can understand that. I used to do a lot of readings on this channel. Sorry, love, but you're welcome. You're welcome to stay and watch. So, a chariot is about force and it's about determination and discipline. So also, I was saying, after we've talked about all that sort of food that we're all eating over the holiday period, Chariot would be a card of discipline. So let's say that, somebody says, oh gosh, am I going to lose a few pounds? You'd look for the Chariot. No matter if it doesn't come out, but if you use the spread that I teach, it would come out and you would be able to tell them categorically. Why? Because the spread I use is 22 major cards plus 22 minor cards, which makes a total of 44 cards on the table, all telling us by their position what is going on in the querent's life. Does anybody know what the querent means? Zoe, do you know what we mean when we say querent? Have you
no, I
heard
just think
that
of
term?
aquarium.
Okay, no problem. A querent is the person receiving the reading. Yeah?
Okay.
So if you're reading for yourself, you are both the tarot reader and the querent at the same time. And people often say, oh gosh, I can't read cards myself. Well, yes, you can. And, and they say I'm not good at sort of separating the psychic from the emotional or the impartial advice and keeping it separate. It depends on the spread you're using. Okay. I'm sure that wasn't you, Zoe. I think that was Doggo.
He's laying here. So
Oh, look at that. Hello, darling. Hello.
he's a bit
Oh,
tired also.
yeah, I'm not surprised. It's hibernation time, isn't it? Winter, and we've had this the winter solstice, 21st of December, the day before we went into Capricorn. I always look forward to that day because each day we gain a little bit more daylight as we start going the opposite. And I know it's slow, but it's always lovely when it's here at last. I love it. Okay. So, a chariot is also someone that's a strong leader, okay? And it means they will have many victories and many successes because they work really hard and they are determined. And it's kind of saying the reins are in your hand, which, yeah, there are no reins, but, the wand and the mind is controlling everything. And the wand, of course, is action and being able to combine all the elements that we've got going on, um, most definitely the mind solves the problems and the passion is driven by the emotion. The colours here, blue for healing, lots of yellow, lots of joy, lots of confidence, lots of, of the divine, golden sort of checking into that chakra, as in our solar plexus, cheerfulness, joy, happiness, determination, and the black and white, very much stands for the duality that's going on. Okay, so this guy's wearing this suit of armor, and I don't know if you can kind of see, but he's got a little square on his breastplate there. Can you see that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the card.
yeah,
So
yeah. So that is an alchemy symbol, a symbol of alchemy. He's got the wreath that he's wearing is for victory. Okay, and also I want to mention when he said he'd left the town behind, but it's like castle walls behind him. Can you see that? Yeah,
yeah,
it's showing he's protecting that. I'm protecting me and my family's there. Come on if you dare, sort of thing. So it's that sort of thing that's going on there. And the symbols on his belt are astrology, and as a square there, which is an alchemy symbol. Okay. We said that there's a river there, as in, and we don't know if the chariot's sort of sitting there or not. But what that represents, any idea what water might represent in this case for you, Zoe? There's no right or wrong answer. It's like, well, how would you feel it actually is? There's a bit of water just behind the two sphinx, and sort of the chariot looks like it might be sitting on it, might be sitting on that lawn, might be overhanging onto the river behind. We don't know. But
I
what would you
think
think
it's more like
water
a
is?
flow, so it goes easy.
Say again, sorry, Zoe.
Like a flow, so something goes easy.
Yep, going with the flow. Absolutely. It is. And you're absolutely right with that. But there's also, the water is symbolic of his emotions. And as you said, very much going with the flow of things. And we've also got the fact that, he is somebody that really and truly, that he's going with that flow, but he's also decorated with those crescent moons sort of, on his shoulder pads there. Can you see?
Yeah.
And if you look really closely, can you see in your card, can you see the two faces on the shoulder? Can you see it? Like two masks. Yeah? Like the theatre. That's it. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And they're blue as well, So, and gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. That square on his tunic that we said is an alchemy symbol just means spiritual transformation. So it's a very, very spiritual card. It really is, and there's so much going on with that. Although, if you look, it looks like he's wearing a bit of a kilt. If you look down, he's got a belt, and then you've got all those symbols. Can you see, like, black sort of with symbology sort of carved out like chalk drawings? Well, they're all astrology symbols. So there's a lot going on there, as in, I think that, we got a lot of black and white sort of even in his attire to tell us that, it's the duality again between the black and the white, the night and the day, the masculine and the feminine, and lots and lots of symbols going on there. But, his chariot, it is a stone. It doesn't look like the chariots that we would actually use. And that's rigid and harsh, and it's definitely not going to be comfortable, is it, sitting in that old thing? And I don't even know how you get it to move, but there you go, it's there. And again, it's kind of saying, well, maybe it's if you're that willful and determined just by the power of your mind, you can move concrete on wheels. And that's probably what it means, So there's an awful lot that's going on there. And he is, he's someone that I think is a really likable soul within the tarot. I really, really find him very comforting. He is all about our home. He is all about willpower, our spiritual connection, going with the divine, all of those kind of things. And of course, anything to do with matters on the road. As a person, what do you think he might be? If you had to sort of, you can pick me if you want, or somebody that you know that's a Cancerian. No, don't hold back. But we are on YouTube. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Family friendly.
yeah. As a person, Cancerian, or do you know a Cancerian, or do you know of a Cancerian? Some famous
One
ones.
of my best friends is Cancer.
Who?
One of my best friends.
Well, now, if you can connect a card to a person in your mind, and just remember, that card becomes so easy, because once you start thinking about your friend, now, just think, forget about the Chariot card, tell me about your friend who's a Cancerian. What are they like as a person? You don't have to mention their name, so it's fine. You can call them Madam X.
She's very nice, but she knows what she wants and doesn't want.
Wow.
Also.
So very, very aware, very self-aware.
Yeah,
Wow.
and very honest.
Oh, good. Blunt or kind with it?
It depends on the person. She's me and her is tough love. We say what we think, and then if someone get offended, okay, we apologize and explain how we meant it.
Oh, how
But
lovely.
it's tough love.
That is really, really lovely. As in, you know what, people can be here many, many years, maybe many lifetimes, and not be as wise as to be able to actually kind of say it as it is. So that's the black and white of the Sphinx there, as in that you're talking about your friend. Okay. And going with the flow, does she go with the flow? Would that make sense for you?
Sometimes, but not
Sometimes, yeah.
always.
Okay, so again, look at that card. Okay, it's only a tiny bit in there that's water. Yeah, so sometimes you might look at that card and go, I'm not going to say that to my friend because I don't actually think it's important. I think the bigger picture here is her tenacity, her willpower, her determination. She's been very brave. She's been very courageous. She may inwardly be kind of wanting to run for the hills and, anxious, as in, what if it doesn't happen? Oh, I'm so emotional, but I can't let it show. And they'll think, I think I'm, quite harsh, or soft as putty maybe, but perhaps acquired that skill just as in as a matter of protection, and she knows what she wants. So that's really, really good. So thinking of your friend will help you with that card. Not all Cancer, not everybody fits into the 12 zodiacs, we know that. But it's really helpful if you know someone. I'm a Cancerian, so that can help. George Michael was a Cancerian. Princess Diana, complex people. George Michael, really, really famous, but kind of some bad press for some bad things. Likewise with Diana, and they probably wanted that. So George Michael said, "Oh, it was a relief for him for people to kind of know his kind of private business." I'm not just picking those things out. I'm saying This kind of stuff will help you with the depth of your card. Instead of just trying to learn meanings, it really is helpful if you can connect to something that connects with you. As a person, they're very motivated, which is what you said. They don't give up. They navigate their obstacles. They really do keep going. Michelle, hi, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome, Michelle. Lovely to see you. Oh no, Victor tonight. Hi,
Hi,
Michelle. If you want to ask a question, please do. Coming in there from Facebook. I meant to see if we were streaming out towards. It does show me on here. We got one watching as in on Twitch. I streamed out to Twitch tonight. Hi there on Twitch. How are you doing? I don't always have chance to be able to see where we're going and what we're doing. So, somebody that's focused. If you are a Cancerian, of course, know thyself and know other people.
my dog is also
Oh,
Cancer, so
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah. Someone, Michelle, nice to see both of us. Oh, that's lovely of you. Thank you very much. So there you are, Zoe. Say hi to Michelle. She's saying hi to you.
hi.
You can see. Lovely. Okay. Thanks, Michelle. If you've got a question, feel free to ask. Okay. Right. Sorry, I was just thinking, the message there from Agus. No problem at all. I always know that, Agus. I know that you're busy and it's always a privilege, as in if we have you along, but like us sometimes do funny things. I didn't even know if I'd be here this week, as in lots of things happening. Simply lights blowing in the studio and yeah, at the vet's yesterday with 5 dogs. Yeah.
You have so many dogs.
Yeah. All okay-ish. And how's the hand, Zoe? Sorry. How is your hand?
I might get this off.
Oh,
I'm going
I
back
can't
to the
hear you.
doctor. I'm going back
Hold
up
on,
to the
Zoe.
doctor.
For
Okay.
some reason, I can't hear you. Can everybody else hear Zoe? Is it just me? Hold on, Zoe. This happened before. I want to see what's what. Okay, let's see if I can hear you now. I've got you turned up.
Hi. Hello.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's not your.
You can hear, Zoe. That's ridiculous, isn't it? I can't. I don't know why that happens. Anyway, Zoe, I'm gonna pop you onto mute for a minute. See if that. Okay. So.
Hi.
Oh yeah. I think sometimes I just need to reset it. Sorry about that.
It's no problem.
I always think it's my AirPods, but it's not. It's not that. It's something else causing it. Okay, so as a personality again, the Chariot is someone that's focused and they're inspiring to be around because they motivate and they navigate obstacles and they support other people, even if that person isn't going to follow the same path as them. So they don't expect you to do likewise. They are very accepting that you've got your own path to go. Also, the Chariot's a card spiritually. I do want to mention that. Let's say that you're feeling, I can't make a decision. I don't know which way to go because they're both good, but I wonder which one is going to be the right one. If the Chariot pops up, okay, it is always that you are going to be guided. So even if you make the wrong decision, you'll have spiritual guidance in some way that will intervene, take over, and make sure that you go for the one that's best for you. So it's always really comforting to know that. Yeah. So if ever it pops up and you are kind of going, well, which one is it then? It may actually sometimes pop up for you to actually find out which way you're going to go, and then kind of go, right, you've had a little experience of that. How about we go the other way now? Right. I'm going to bring on, don't forget, if you would like some help learning tarot, go on to my website. There are the courses there, set up from beginners, intermediate, advanced. The courses are aimed at taking you as far as professional level, paid professional level. Why? Because that's my background, that's where I come from, that's where my experience is. So why do things in short measures? I want the whole caboodle. So I know what it takes, as in to get people to give up the 9 to 5 and be able to be good at their craft, to turn their passion into their profession. So if you want, go and have a look at the courses. There's beginners, they're all separate for you. There's the major arcana, there is the minor arcana, separated into the swords, the court cards, the wands, pentacles and the cups, all done separate so that you can really focus and go into the depth. And if you want to be a paid reader, you will need to have depth. There is no point kind of just pulling out just one card. I know that's what we're doing tonight. This is tuition. But to give somebody a reading for maybe 30, 40 minutes in one card, that's not what they're paying you for. And you might say, oh, I can do it, I'll use my intuition. Then call yourself an intuitive reader, not, a tarot reader. Somebody that's tarot reading, you would be expected to put out a spread of sorts, and I don't mean 1 or 2 cards. Okay, I know because, I had a platform with 250 people working alongside me, and yeah, those that didn't make it were the ones that were kind of going, the drawl of the cheat sheets. I don't like cheat sheets, there's worksheets, okay? So I have a worksheet and I've got PDFs. So if you want to have a look at those, pop on. We've got the keywords, we've got worksheets, which is each individual card. And now I'm going to show you tarot journal. We've got one of those. I'm going to show you some cards. So bear with me a minute, okay? So this is what I mean by having a journal. It's a tarot journal, and you can see I've just on the left side put the cards there so you can see what it is. They've got all your court cards, okay? So if you want one of those, that's on the website. It's really, really a nice, reasonable one. And then we've got another PDF. There you go. And this one is, there you go. Got all your meanings going on, and that goes right through the cards, okay? I don't do reverse cards. I mention this every week, but I've popped a little bit up there on the right-hand side for those that do want that. Okay, now let's move it to this, which is the next scene. It will come up. There you go. Right. So Zoe, I'm going to keep you in the mute room for a moment, okay? But let's see if I can just bring in, bear with me. Now you're probably going to see 2 cameras come up on here, okay? Okay, right, I'm going to move that up there, okay? Right, so here's a couple of examples on my green screen of the Chariot. They're all different, as you can see, all right? But there's only this one that would give you all of that detail that we've discussed tonight. So again, if you're struggling, maybe it's your deck, maybe it's your spread, maybe you need more knowledge, maybe you need to work with connecting cards. There is so much, I don't know, I don't know where that little sort of sign from passionate Saji came in there. Sorry if I missed it. Sorry, my lovely, if you're there. Yeah, so it could be your deck, and the symbology in a Rider-Waite base deck, and this is the borderless version. This is based on Rider-Waite Christmas deck, really lovely. It also, instead of black and white sphinxes, we've got the reindeer, and the symbol here is the holly and the wreath and the laurel instead of the wreath up here. But you get the idea. The castles behind, the walls behind, we're not getting the water. You see there's things missing, and the canopy of stars is not there. There's things that you might go, gosh, what? Yeah. And he's not got the two faces on his lapel, like the masks, hasn't got the crescents, hasn't got the astrological symbols and all of that kind of thing. You might say, well, why? Well, you see, you'll be drawn into those things, and as you actually look at that card, it will speak to you. And those things will be picked up subconsciously, which is your intuition. And so eventually, yes, you'll read technically as a tarot reader, but you'll merge your intuition, you'll be able to almost kind of fuse everything together. That's what happens to people and become great readers. Okay. This is the Druid Chariot. Again, different. We've got the horses, not much to tell us what's going on in the background here, and the whole dress and everything is so different, as you can see. This one is a bonus card from the same deck. So actually 2 chariots that came out of, it's the Winter-Waite deck. I absolutely love them. It's such a fun, beautiful winter deck to use for clients. But again, if you're not a seasoned reader, it can be really hard and you could be really sort of struggling. I've done it, gone online and pulled a deck out and gone, crikey. Don't be shy to say something. I'm really sorry. I'm going to reshuffle with you. Just give me a moment. It takes 2 seconds. Yeah? Just put more cards out. You can always say, instead of saying, never be frightened to sort of say, look, I think I need to look at another deck, or I think we need to put more cards out. You don't have to quite often. What would I do? I would actually say, I've got this here like this, and then before you know it, I go, not to worry, they can't see me, they're on the phone, but I would just go, right, here we go. And then over the top. You don't have to kind of, I've got to put it all away. You can do that later. Yeah? And if something's not worked for you, just kind of, make sure that you are able to feel at peace when you are reading. Okay? So, different chariots. Look at that one. Modern chariot, the skateboard. Great imagery, lots and lots of symbols, not the same at all, but some beautiful symbols going on here. We've got people walking in the background, what looks like a city. It's great, but you can miss out a lot of the important details. This one is the vice versa deck. That's part of my crystal that's sort of come off. And that's what I mean by the vice versa deck, because the other cards have just got a back, of course, yeah? But the vice versa deck is quite simply, you get what's going on behind. So we're seeing, if it's taken from behind, and that's our charioteer. Okay, very different again, but quite like this. But again, lots missing. Same with the light seers. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful deck. This one, the romantic tower, again, gorgeous, love it. No symbology. This one, fantastic menagerie, all with animals. You get it. Look at that. It's so clever. You love it. Different decks will speak to you in different ways. But if you're beginning or you're actually trying to really improve and get that nitty gritty depth to actually say, I don't want to just be doing this as a hobby. I want to take it further. I want to go to the next stage with this. Look at your deck, and also, get out your courses, get out your journals, your PDFs, your books, everything. Make sure, Okay, and don't just do sort of yes or no questions, because that's not what a professional tarot reading would really want from you. They will want depth. They will want places, names, dates, and yes, I teach all of that. Geographically, I can help you with the tarot. Days, weeks, months, all that kind of thing. Not seasons. Not, oh, I think it'd be 3 days, maybe 3 weeks, 3 months. No. Specifics. This will happen within. And there are 2 places for timing within the spread, and they're really accurate. And yes, sometimes there is no timing because a planet appears rather than a card that will give you that information. You'd need to go to my courses to find out how to do that. And yes, I do actually cover countries, certain locations. It will blow your mind, the kind of information that you can get. But you won't be able to get that as in just by turning around and honestly, just putting out 1 or 2 cards, it's not enough. You need to put out more cards, and you need to know. Don't just do the meanings. There's so much to it. Loads of people out there are prepared to work as a tarot buddy. That's also important. Okay, so nice spread, lovely modern one going on there, and this is from card I produced a whole tarot deck once upon a time, 2006 that was, okay, and we did that because we wanted the artwork to be very simple for graphics on websites. This one I think is Tarot Masters, the Chariot again, okay, but you know, always comes back to this for me, not because it's my favourite, well it is, but yeah, it's where all the information is. And if you are feeling that you just need to be able to connect and go, gosh, yes, something speaks to me about the red in the top of that building there in the background, the castle, you can focus on that. And you'll find things that you don't see with one person, but you do with another. And that's what it's all about, okay? So, thanks everybody. Any comments? There's been a lot of people watching tonight. Thanks ever so much. It's really lovely of you, especially seeing as it's the holidays. So it's great. Zoe's back with me. I will bring her back so she can say ta-ta. So from me and Marie, I'm going to wish you a wonderful, wonderful Happy New Year, and I'll see you next week, which will be Tuesday, 5 o'clock, and we will be looking at the Chariot, how to read it with other cards. Zoe, I will let you speak for yourself. Hold on a minute, I need to unmute you. You're on. Your mic is on again.
Everybody.
Try. Oh, sorry. Can we do that again? I think there's a delay there. It was really lagging.
I hope everyone have a wonderful New Year.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, everybody. Happy holidays. And yes, from my lovely guest, Zoe, and from me and Marie, we will see you next week, hopefully. Maybe you'll join us next week, Zoe? Yeah?
I think so. Yeah.
Great stuff. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you very much from me and from Zoe, and a very happy New Year to you all. So we shall play you out with, I hope I can find my this one, I think.